Hi and welcome. My name is Kelly and you have found my FlossTube channel. Yes, this is a FlossTube video, but I do quite a few different crafts, so odds and ends show up during the video. Thank you for returning. I've noticed that I've had quite a few new subscribers, so thank you very much to all of my new subscribers. I sincerely appreciate it. I am a person who loves to make things. It makes me happy, and I like to share that and encourage other people to do things that make them happy. Doesn't matter what it is. If it makes you happy and it's colorful and, well, kind, do all things colorful. Anyway, be that as it may, I did do some clips this week, so I do have some clips to share, and as you can see, Wally is in the sun over there. Again, there is no heat in that sun. I got up this morning and the sun was up and it said it was 1 degree Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's a cold day, but that's okay. I'm comfortable. I'm in my craft room. I have already made a card this morning, which I will show you later. If you haven't watched my pansy paper crafting video, it's a card that I made as a result of that morning at play. I call it play, but it's because it's fun. So I don't want to offend anybody with that. It's fun. So anyway, let's get started. I'll show you my clips and I will meet you back here on the other side. Be back. Hi, and happy Valentine's Day. Yesterday was Dark 13 stitching, and of course, I didn't make a clip. I didn't post to Instagram. I meant to, but yesterday was the second day of a snowstorm, and it was snowing pretty hard. So I think overall we got about 1.5 feet of snow back. Yay, go us. So I went out to shovel because where I live, my mailbox is out on the street, and if I don't clear my mailbox, the United States Postal Service won't deliver. So I went out and I was clearing out some of where the plow drops all the goodies off the road at the end of my driveway and around my mailbox. And the snow was heavy and wet this time, and there was about a 3 to 4 inch crusty layer of ice on the top. So you had to break through the ice, you know, before you could reach in and shovel and move it. So I managed to hurt my back, which wasn't pleasant. I have a bad back to begin with. So needless to say, I pretty much sat in my chair most of the day, which did bode well for Simply Meant to Be, because I did start this, and I think it's perfect Halloween piece, if I say so myself, because, hello, Halloween and love. Love blooms even in the darkest places. Anyway, this is how far I got. And I really like it. This is probably almost 600 stitches. Makes me wish I'd known I was going to start this, because I might have used it for my 1200 stitches on Full Coverage Fanatic, because this goes a lot easier than Manhattan Wonderland, but that's okay. It is tough because now I'm going to stitch on this today for Valentine's Day, but then I'm going to have to put it away and go back to Mini Manhattan so I can get 1200 stitches in there. But it's all good. I mean, a whip is a whip, and I know these won't be finished anytime soon, but I do enjoy working on it. And I do think it's really beautiful. And so far there's quite a few blues. I think I've used 7 different colors so far, just in this little corner. So yeah, it's looking good. So anyway, I hope that you have a lovely Valentine's Day. And from my heart to yours, have a lovely evening. Thanks to see you soon. Hi and welcome. This is February 15th and this is just a progress clip on my Halloween project that I worked on the 13th and the 14th. And this is a Hay design. It's Heaven and Earth design, and it's simply meant to be. And it's a representation of Jack Skellington and Sally and the dog Zero. And then in the background, because this is a mini, the detail isn't quite as great, but in the full-sized one, you can see Mr. Oogly Boogly in the moon a lot clearer in the picture. Just so you know, there is a difference between the full-sized and the mini. So I thought I would show you where I got to yesterday, and I didn't get a whole lot more done. I had animals vying for attention, so I had Wally and 3 cats in my lap, and Nessie nudging my arm, and I had our black cat Spike laying on the chair behind me, so I finally gave up. I said, okay, Uncle, you guys get attention tonight. So we all snuggled and watched TV instead, but that was okay. I really like how far I got, and I really want to keep working on this, and so I just might. I was going to go back to my mini Manhattan Wonderland, and who knows, I may put a few stitches into it, but I'm really enjoying working on this. And you may notice that there's a couple of threads here. Whoops, I just pulled the one that has the needle on it. This is the color that I'm currently working in. It's still on the needle. But I have another one here that is parked. And you probably, if you've watched any of my previous FlossTube videos, you know I'm not a parker. Kind of makes my head hurt a little bit. But I'm trying some modified stuff this time. And so I've done all this, and this is all the colors in the colors that I've put in so far. That's a complete color for this page. And there's other colors that kind of go on that diagonal. But right now what I thought I would do is come up and maybe try to fill this square in, and then move over and fill this one, and kind of get these first 2 columns done, maybe. I don't know, because I kind of stitch as I feel, and I'm as eclectic in my stitching as I am in my everyday life. So I'm not holding myself to that. But I will show you, this is my first time. I've had this for a while, and it's a thread keeper. And I think this is the Panko, I'm not sure. I really need another one of these because this does work out really well. I've put the symbols in, and you can see that on some of them I've left the needles and I've put them in the foam. And yeah, I am enjoying this, but like I said, I need another one because this project has like 87 or 89 colors. And a lot of it is gray, which I like. That I can see. I'm soon going to be into the white and the 3770, which I think makes up the moon and Mr. Oogly Boogly, so that'll be fun too. Yeah, so that is my plan for this piece, is to continue working with my Panko thread organizer. I'm going to put this in a hoop or on rods. I haven't decided, because right now I've been stitching it in hand, and I really do like stitching in hand, but I think I'm going to put this back up. I'm sorry, because I stitch and my animals sit on my lap, I've got all kinds of fancy fiber there too. But anyway, I'm going to continue, but I think I'm going to put it in a frame or in a hoop, because then when the animals are sitting, I sit differently, and it makes it more difficult for the animals to kind of pile on top of my stitching, because the cats have a tendency to want to get up here, and then Wally tries to get in too, and that makes stitching very difficult, unless I sit at the table. And to be honest, I don't mind that sometimes, but I don't always want to sit, especially when my back is hurting. So anyway, that was a big rabbit trail, but that's how I'm stitching this piece, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of this, more of in the garden shed with all the other cats, and Manhattan Wonderland. Now you can ask, what about your stitch 9? Yep, they're still in a bag, and I will get to them. I still haven't started my ornament for February for the Just Cross Stitch ornament sale. That's a Facebook group. I did try to dye some fabric, and that was my first unsuccessful attempt at fabric dyeing. I threw it out because I put it in the microwave to heat it up, and it was 28 count cashel, and it burned. So yeah, threw that one out. I'll try again, but that was for my ornament for February. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. I think that's the only thing I haven't started that I wanted to start. And I'm hoping that I at least get to it by the 19th, and then it can even be my Mania new start for the month. Other than that, the only other thing I really want to start is Queen Elizabeth. But that's another Heaven and Earth design, and I am crazy. But I do seem to enjoy working on these big projects more than the smalls. So we'll see what happens. I did just get my new electronic copy of Just Cross Stitch magazine, but it really didn't seem to have anything in it that I'm terribly interested in, so yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you're having a great day. It's overcast here and very cold, and the wind is really whipping today, so it might be a good indoor day. So I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Take care. God bless. Hi, and welcome to February 16th. Coming to you on the day that Duke is going to be neutered. And it's kind of gray and overcast, so I think we might get a little snow. But hey, it's winter. It's okay. This is a Heaven and Earth design, simply meant to be, from Valentine Stitching for me. Pardon my thought process because I have a headache today. Yep. I've enjoyed stitching on this, and I will be stitching on it again, but I think this will be it for this time around because I really want to get into some other stuff. And this is how far I've gotten, and you can see, well, maybe you can see, it's so hard to tell with these big pieces, but I filled in around here, so it's now working out this way. And that one lonely little parked stitch I took care of. So yeah, that's not too bad at all, and I'm quite happy with that. So, what is new, you say? And if you remember, I said I wasn't going to start any more mystery sales this year, that I wasn't going to sign up for any. But then I saw that Ingleside Imaginarium, our own Brittany Church, who does really wonderful mystery sales, came out with a new one called A War of Tooth and Claw. And it's her 2019 Mystery Stitch Along. So on the 14th of every month, a new piece will come out. And this is the first one. This is the central motif. And it's a crown. And that's all in Petite Treasure braid. So, of course, I had to place an order with 1, 2, 3 stitch. And I have to wait for the Petite Treasure braid to come. I did have one card, and that was the PB25, the old gold. So that's good. I could at least start it. And I started it on a piece of 16 count Aida from Coloring Cotton in the colorway Sage. And let me find that little bit that I started. Yes, and there it is. Right there. Can you see it? So I got a very little itty bitty start in yesterday. And this, of course, is the crown. And in the crown there is this old gold, there is silver, and there is copper. So I am looking forward to getting my other Petite Treasure braids and being able to stitch this crown up. So, yep, if you're interested, that's in Brittany's Etsy store, Ingleside Imaginarium. And yeah, so if you're looking for a mystery Sal and you're interested in something that sounds like a war of tooth and claw, this might be the one for you. Check it out. Other than that, you might have seen that I got a mail delivery in. That was kind of fun. And I got some dies and some stamps that Kara of K's Cross Stitch would probably really love. I'm just moving stuff around so I can pull them out. And I'll just show you the cards, the stamp and die briefly. Can't talk today. Briefly. And those are pansies. So yes, they are gorgeous. That's the 3D shaping mold. These are the dies. These are the stamps. There's paper involved, and I showed that in my mail haul. And then I also got this lacy diamond die. And let me show you that, because I did cut some of them out. Let's see. So this is what it looks like when you don't use the piece that cuts the full square out. You use this die and this one, and it cuts this, which is absolutely beautiful. And then if you just cut this background piece, you get that one. And I love that. So I cut that a couple of times. And then if you use all three pieces together, you get the border and you get this inside piece. Now, if you didn't use the inside piece and you just used this and this, you would get a solid diamond, and then you would get the border lace diamond. I just think they're beautiful, and they can be used for so many things. And what I particularly like about these dies is that they cut so cleanly that, let me just take that little piece out for now, that if you wanted a really thick piece for an embellishment on a box or a card, all you have to do is stack them up, and they line up pretty perfectly, and you can get a very thick piece out of it. But they're beautiful as backgrounds for cards, scrapbook pages, picture frames, whatever you want. So I really, really like this, and I'm very happy to have it. I don't know what I'm going to work on today. I should probably work on Manhattan Wonderland. So I think that's what I'm going to work on later today to try to get my 1200 stitches for Coverage Fanatics. And that is what that piece looks like. And I am up in the first page, which is up here. And let me show you my starting point. So that's where I'm going to start from. And I'm sorry it's so dark here. I hope this is brighter, but it's very gloomy outside. So that's what that looks like, and that's what I'll be working on today. And then on the 19th, I'm going to start my Just Cross Stitch ornament for February. But between today and then, I think I'm going to spin the wheel and see what the wheel pulls. So that'll be kind of a surprise. So thanks for joining me today. I'll take the Wally hair off. And I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Hi, and welcome. This is February 18th. It's actually, I don't know, about 1:30 in the afternoon. And I didn't think about doing a clip before I started working. I've actually worked on my Mandala cat. And now I'm working on Barbara Anna, A New World, Part 5, which is one of my Stitch 9s to hopefully be completed this year. So this isn't really my starting point because I have been working on this a while. I've actually, let's see, put like this part of this, I don't know, it kind of looks like a moose fish when you get done with it because it's got a long tail that comes off its back. And then oh, that's this part. I'm sorry, wrong thing. This right here will be some type of a long fish. And then I put in the seaweed and the fish, and I put the fish in on the boat, and these two yellow things up in the sky. So, yeah. But this is what I'm working on today. I thought I would try to work on a stitch 9 to see if I could push it a little bit closer to completion. Still have a bit of a ways to go, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. So I will see you again. Yeah, I've had a good week. I really enjoyed working on Simply Meant to Be, and I think for March I may switch my 1200 stitch piece for Full Coverage Fanatics and work on something different. But I haven't quite decided because right now I am working on, let me pull this stuff over here so I can reach it better. Talk about not being prepared. For this month, I am working on a Heaven and Earth Designs piece, and it's Manhattan Wonderland, and it's a mini size. And I love the picture. I think the picture's beautiful. The artwork is by Jane Wooster Scott, and she has lots of really pretty things. Her Heaven and Earth Designs has a lot of really pretty things in their inventory with her artwork. I'll show you where I am. It has changed a little. I did work on it the other night, and I don't believe I showed it. But, again, it's a lot of light colors, so you probably can't really see the change. What I will say is I'm at a point where I can probably go back and in 4 or 5 squares fill in white and have a whole big chunk done. So that's where it is right now, and the blocks I'm talking about are up here. I just have to fill the white in. So, yep, that is where I stand right now. And I don't have the 1200 stitches in yet. I still have a ways to go. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. I don't have very far to go. But, so I will have it done this month. And after I worked on that, I will say that yesterday I pulled one of my, well, actually I pulled a couple of my stitch 9s out. I pulled out my ancient whip called In the Garden. It's the country garden, and it's the water fountain, and I started it back in the late 1990s. Yep, yes I did. I did. I think it's one of the last pieces I worked on before I stopped cross-stitching for a while, because then I got wholeheartedly into doll making and did not look back. I did that for quite a long time. This is where that piece is, and I'm sorry to say I looked at the colors, I looked at the stitches, and I put it away. I'm hoping to have it done this year, but I will say that this time of getting it out, I did not do much. Not much at all. I looked at it. Does that count? No? Okay. A piece I did do quite a bit on, and is one of my Stitch 9 pieces, is a Barbara Anna design. And most everybody who started it back when I started it have finished it and moved on to bigger and better things. But I'm doing part 5 of Barbara Anna, and it's Over the Sea. Right? A New World Part 5, Over the Seas. Yep. And I'm doing this on linen, and I don't remember. Let's see. What am I doing it on? 32 count limestone. So this is 32 count limestone linen, and it's a Zweigart because it has the red line. And I've got my needle in there. because I have a needle minder, but I was kind of still working on it and put it away quick, so I still have the needle hooked into the fabric, but I'll move it over here because it's not attached. So anyway, I finished this tree. I stitched in the 2 fish on that first boat. I stitched in the seaweed here and this fish and that sun, and I did most of this monster here, and I worked on this gold ring that's here, and let's see what else. Oh, I did that seahorse here, and I think that was about it. That's what I did yesterday. I worked on Barbara Anna, and it won't take much to finish this one. And I do enjoy this. This is fun. And yes, I'm stitching on linen, and I'm enjoying it. I like this linen. So before I stitched on Barbara Anna's Across the Seas, I just want to put it away. Before I stitched on her yesterday, I pulled out Mandala Cat and actually worked on him. This is part of the cross-stitch calendar that I purchased on Amazon, and I don't think I have his picture out. No, all I have is the chart, so I'm sorry, I didn't plan ahead that well. And this is on a piece of color and cotton, and it's 16 count Aida, and the name of it is Apple Tart. And I'm really liking this. I've got most of his eyeballs in now, and I worked on some of his muzzle. So there is my Mandala, where I am on Mandala Cat. Yep. That's really pretty. I'm enjoying the colors. And I'm especially liking it on this bright green fabric. So that was fun. So in the world of cross stitch, that's all that I actually worked on this week, which was a pretty good amount. And I'm going to, I think today I'm going to pick my Manhattan Wonderland back up. I was going to spin the wheel and see what came up, but I think I've got to get that 1,200 stitches in. And today is Tuesday, February 19th. So it's for Stitch Mania. I'm sorry, I've got all my stuff over here. For Stitch Mania, this is a new start, Sal. So I'm going to actually start my Just Cross Stitch ornament for February. It's kind of late to be starting it. I showed it to you in my last video. Now I just have to remember where it is. Oh, there it is. It's called City Sidewalks, and it's by Glendon Place. And that's what that looks like. And there's beads and everything on it. It's really pretty. We shall see. I'm hoping to get this done this month, but it's a pretty large piece. Its stitch count is 78 stitches high and 68 stitches wide, and the design size, so it's 5 2/3 inches by 4 7/8 inches. I like to try to get these done in the month, so we'll see. My priority is going to be my 1,200 stitches on Manhattan Wonderland, and then will be my Just Cross Stitch ornament sale, and I'm hoping to get both of those things done. I'm going to be doing that. I think this is raw gold Ada, and I think it's 14 count. So this is what I'm going to do the ornament, the city sidewalks on. And then I've also started Brittany's new Mystery Sal, Ingleside Imaginarium, and this is what that looks like for anyone who's interested. And I did start it. This first piece is all Krynic. She does give a DMC conversion, so the three, not Krynic, Petite Treasure Braid, but she does give a DMC conversion, and I haven't gotten any further than the last time I showed it, but now I can't remember if I showed it here or if I only showed it on Instagram. So anyway, I'm using Color and Cotton, 16 count Ada, in the colorway Sage. So Petite Treasure Braid, and that's the only card of it that I have, so I'm waiting for my 1, 2, 3 stitch order. So I'll work on my other pieces until that order comes in. And then I'm going to switch over and there's my start right there. So when my order from 1, 2, 3 stitch comes in, I will hopefully have my 1200 stitches in and have a good start on my ornament, because then I will pick this up and do a little bit more work on a War of Tooth and Claw. And I think even if I didn't want to do a Mystery Sal, I would see a War of Tooth and Claw, and I would have to pick it up. I would have to say, okay, I'm in, because I like that name. And I think it's kind of goes with Game of Thrones, which I've never watched. I started watching it, got to the part where, I don't know, the little boy had climbed up the tower and fallen down, and the evil queen got her little panties in a twist, and I said, nope, I cannot watch this. I keep trying, though. I've gotten that far twice now, and I actually have the whole set of books. I don't know. Oh, well. Now, I do want to share, this is the card that I made this morning, and that goes along with my pansy video. And it's not dry, so I'm trying to be careful. But if you're interested in what I did with those pansies that I watercolored, these are some no-hold beads and some let me get it, some stickles, and a few other things. I also use Wink of Stella, which is a glitter pen. So anyway, that's what the card looks like. This is just a pre-cut card. It's an A2 size. Comes with envelopes. Probably got it at Michael's. And it's the plain solid color paper. It's just paper that I pick up at Michael's or Joann's too. So, yep, that's the outside of the card. It says, have a beautiful day. And the inside of the card, that's what that looks like. And these cutouts are also Heartfelt Creations dies. They call them Cut, Mat, and Create. And you can see I only used the inside piece of the diamond die, and then I just added ribbon at the top and the bottom. So it was a pretty quick card to make. I just did it this morning before the video, just in case, because I know I usually have people ask me, so what do you do with it? So that's what I did with it. I made a card. And I still have a pansy left over. Okay, so that was my pansy foray for this week. It was a lot of fun. So I thought I would also show you, while I'm rolling down my path of eclectic stuff and nonsense, I've also worked a little bit more on my crocheted blanket. And I love that Lori Mischievous Stitches is just getting into crochet. It's always fun to see people who pick up a new craft. I'm going to make one of her baskets because I think they're great. So anyway, this is what my yarn looks like. This is the second cake. So I won't have much, this blanket won't be very big. It's actually going to be more like a throw. And if you missed it, it's called, I think I got this at AC Moore, but I'm sure most big box craft stores will carry it because it's a Lion brand yarn. And it's called Mandala, and this is the colorway Pegasus. And it's 100% acrylic, but I like it because I have animals. I've got 6 cats, and I will soon be up to 3 dogs. And cats especially, they like to really get cozy with a blanket, especially if it's on the back of a sofa or a chair. So I like things that I can just pick up and throw in the washer and not worry about very much. And this is kind of just a 2-ply, so it's like a fingering weight, if you're wondering. And these are the colors that I have left inside my cake. And this is the part that I've worked on. You see I'm fading into a lighter melon color, tangerine melon. I really like this orange color. I think it's really pretty. So anyway, so that's single crochet into double and then into lemon peel, which is a single and then a double all the way across. So now I'm going to be going back into double crochet. So it's just gonna, this section, and then I will mirror back to this section and then to the single crochet. And I will be done. And I will move on to something else. I've also been working in clay a little bit this week, but I don't really have anything there to show you. And I'm wearing, well, I think I showed my earrings in a much earlier video because I made the earrings. And then this is a necklace that I made a very long time ago. This is not clay. This is just a beaded necklace. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this that well, but this is actually a closure finding, like a toggle clasp. And what it is it's a cat. It's a seated cat with a, opening in the middle, because that's its tail. And there's his head with his face. And so here, usually it would be a toggle, and this cat would be the toggle that goes through the big cat. Oh, yeah. This is a little cat that's got some filigree. So what I do is I wear it like a lariat, and all I do is I hook it through and then again to knot it, and then the cat just hangs and the other cat just hangs below it. And yeah, I like coming up with different ways of making jewelry, and that's one of the fun ways that I've found that I really like. Wally is still curled up over in the window seat. I've got my curtain all pulled out. And like Rosemary, that's just white fabric that I put tabs on the top of and hooked on. Mine has sewn tabs on it that I put over the curtain rod. But because the animals, come up and they sleep, this way I can just pull it down, throw it in the washer and dryer, and put it back up. Simple. Tomorrow, Gizmo, my granddaughter's 8-month-old cat, goes and has his surgery, so then all of the animals will be neutered. Duke was neutered last Saturday and came through it with shining colors, so this weekend I should have him on board, and we'll see, how well he settles in as to whether I show him in my next video. Other than that, there's not a lot of other life update. Everyone's well. Well, my daughter Rebecca has pneumonia, and so she was out of work for a few days, but I hope that she's feeling better today. She seemed like she was on the mend. So, yeah, that's pretty much the family update. So, I hope that you're all well and enjoying whatever season you're in. I know that it's warm in Australia, and it's really cold here, but hey, pretty soon that'll be opposites, and you know, life goes on. So as I'm rambling and trying to figure out how to end this, I'm going to say, like Cinderella's mother, be kind and be courageous, and in all things be colorful. God bless. Thanks for watching.